Welcome to the Your Next Move podcast. Y'all, we are doing something different today, and I am wildly excited. I have been a career coach since 2011, helping women and people of color navigate the world of work, make more money, and position themselves as leaders. I've spent thousands of hours doing career coaching, and I want y'all to see me in action. And I want to give professionals like you the opportunity to get career coaching. So today, we are going to do some live career coaching on camera. And this is unplanned. I have an idea kind of what we're talking about, but just like with any career coaching situation, what comes up is going to come up. And I hope that you find something in this episode that is going to help you navigate the world of work with ease. So with that, I will ask you to introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Shaperyla Smith. I'm affectionately known as Pearl. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. I currently live in Houston, Texas. I'm a project manager in the healthcare industry. I've been doing that for about 2 years now. So I'm so grateful to be on your show.
Thank you.
a big fan of yours.
Thank you.
So I'm really happy to be here.
I'm excited. So how long have you been in healthcare?
So I've been in healthcare since 2012.
Okay.
So this year was my 10 years in healthcare.
Okay.
I transitioned from like the patient access registration area, and then I worked my way up to project management.
Okay. So tell me about what's going on right now in your career.
So right now I feel like I'm at a pivotal point where I'm trying to balance my personal life with also my work life. And I'm trying to be more assertive with my boundaries at work and navigating that space to not come off as too assertive, but also stay in control. As a project manager, you have to lead your team. So I want to be able to assert my boundaries as well as pivot even more in my career. So I'm here to see what's your advice about how can I respect my boundaries in the workplace and also pivot.
So tell me a little bit more. How large is your team?
So my team right now is 100 individuals. I'm the project manager for that department.
That's a lot of folks.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people. Okay. And where do you feel like your boundaries are being impacted? Like, where is it that you are feeling the most distress?
So I feel like it's more with the leadership team. So it's 5 of us.
Okay.
I anticipate people's needs very well, and I get attached to those that are in higher authority because I just want to make sure that they know that I understand them, that I have their back. I'm very loyal to a default sometimes, right?
Okay.
So I really want to know, like, how do I navigate that without crossing the line?
So you could tell me if I'm wrong, but what I hear you saying is that you in the workplace, because you're a high achiever, and because you see the leadership team and you can see what their needs are, you are proactively solving problems, proactively doing all things. And I'm assuming, is that becoming overwhelming? Like, you're working long hours. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, so I work long hours. I'm anticipating needs going higher than my role is supposed to, right? I'm just trying to make sure they're good, but it's a business. So they only care if you're showing up doing your job. They're not really caring about the well-being. So, yeah.
Are you clear on what your trajectory is? Like, do you feel like the work you're doing now is setting you up for your next move?
So I think it has set me up this far, but I'm ready to grow. I can feel myself itching towards like, okay, it's time for the next step.
Got it. Okay. So have you had a conversation about getting help, getting support?
Yes.
What has happened there?
So I'm very vocal about my needs now since reading your book.
Good.
So I had that conversation, but it wasn't received in the way that I would want it to. And I was disappointed by that.
So what happened? What was the result?
It was more like, okay, so you want to move up, so now let me just throw this on you. Let me throw these tasks on you. I know you can do that, so let me just give you more on your plate. And it became to I'm doing way more in my job now than I'm supposed to, and I feel like I'm just doing busy work I feel like I'm doing more busy work than I am doing my actual job now.
So it sounds like when you went and said like, hey, like I want a higher title, I want more responsibility, did they give you more money at least?
Yes.
Okay.
So they did. Yeah.
Okay. I know that getting more money does not make it better. It does not, but it makes it a little better.
Yeah.
just a little bit. It doesn't always make it better, but it's
Yeah.
even worse because sometimes I've had situations where clients they're looking to get to the next place and their boss is like, oh, I really need to see you show some more initiative.
Yeah.
So they make them do more without more pay. So they gave you more pay, but it sounds like now like there's too much work. When in that conversation, did you ever talk about getting more team to directly support you? So if you're project managing for 100 folks, do you have direct reports who are helping you do that project management work?
So that's the part I left out. So
Okay.
the team that I'm the project manager for, I was their supervisor before I became their project manager.
Okay.
So they're used to just reporting straight to me.
Did they backfill your old role?
They did 6 months into my role.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you properly re-navigating people back to your backfill instead of helping them?
In the last month, I've been...
So that's a no. I feel like it's a no.
Again, I'm very like loving, loyal. So, but yes, no, I have not.
Okay, so you're letting that person have an easy job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think number one with boundaries, it's like figuring out where is the pain point. So one pain point you talked about today is you had 100 people who you were with before.
Yeah.
And those 100 people are still coming to you even though there's someone in the middle.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this person in the middle is trained properly?
So I think when I realized that like, hey, this is getting too much for me, like I took time on my schedule to make sure like, okay, this is what you need more help in. So they're getting better. And they actually hire another person to help that person after I'm out the role. Let's just put that out there.
I was like, hold up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's getting better, and they're now able to rise to the occasion more. But still, when you have those people that are used to your way,
yes,
they keep coming. But I have to redirect. Yes.
See, you're coaching yourself. I love it. Because so many times when we talk about boundaries, it's we know what to do because we know what doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
What doesn't feel good is you doing these two jobs at the same time because you're letting these folks still come around to you. So it's kind of pushing back. Now, do you feel if these folks were not still coming to you, do you feel like you'd have more bandwidth? You'd feel a little bit better, or is there still pressure coming from your leadership too?
Still pressure coming from my leadership too, because they know that I can do the job and that I'm going to do everything I can to make them happy. So here it was, they were my direct report before. So now we're on the same level. So it's still like, I still see you as that lower person, but just more responsibilities. And I know you can handle it. And so I'm going to just keep adding to your plate. So
am I correct in thinking that, like, so let me get your hierarchy correct. So you were in role A. Let me do it I'm gonna do it that way. So you were in role A, and you got moved to the next position of B, which is higher. So now you and all your leadership team are on the same area. Are they still treating you like you're in role A?
Yes.
And so they're not going to your backfill?
No.
Okay, so you got people on both sides. This makes sense. We need to re-navigate on both sides.
Yeah.
And I think even in your language, so I had to ask for clarification because that was the first time that you said now you're on the same level as the leadership team.
Yeah.
And I think that's also a mindset shift of you are the leadership team.
Yeah.
They're no longer above you. And I think that's a very difficult transition, I think, for everyone involved. But I think, your mindset has to believe now that you're no longer the person who they're coming down on, pushing back down on. And the same way you're re-navigating the 100, we need to re-navigate your peers. We're not calling them leadership team anymore.
Yeah.
Re-navigate your peers to that other person to reroute the work.
Yeah.
because you're going to feel pressure on both sides. Do you feel like, how does that feel for you? How does that land when you think about like you being on the leadership team and not being someone who's reporting to that team anymore?
It's conflicting feelings, right? Because sometimes I'm like, okay, should I have took this role in the same department that I was at role A, right? Should I have went to another department where the team doesn't know me, and so they have like more respect. And then it's more like, okay, so I'm proud of myself because I'm at the same level as you, and so yeah, it's conflicting feelings.
It's definitely really hard when you move from different levels within an organization, especially in the same like immediate chain of command. But I also just want to give you your kudos and that like that's what everybody wants, right? Like everybody wants to get promoted in their area and just keep rising. Do you like your job?
Yeah, I like it. I like what's supposed to be. I like it. I feel like I'm ready for growth, and I'm a fast grower. So in the eyes of my peers, they think, oh, you're still new in this role, but I know I can do more. So I'm ready to grow.
How long have you been one of the peers now?
Almost 2 years now.
Almost 2 years.
Yeah.
And 6 months ago, they hired your
No,
backfill.
sorry. I've been with this company for 2 years. Okay. Almost 1 year now.
So almost 1 year now. And when did they hire your backfill? 6 months ago?
Yeah.
Okay. You need to re-navigate these folks. Because you're not going to feel the difference until you re-navigate people to the appropriate chain of command. And I think that is why it sounds like your boundaries being broken. It's just about you doing work that is not at the level. Because when you come into a leadership role, the goal is that you are working on higher level strategy, higher level thinking, more big picture things. You're able to think about vision and 1 year planning, 3 year planning, 5 year planning. But if you're still doing the day-to-day nuances, it's not going to feel like you had that jump and you had that growth.
Yeah.
And it's been a year. And so we get the first 6 months of transition. I also understand the 6 months of transition when you get someone enrolled because they had to get upskilled.
Yeah.
But now they're upskilled. And you need to let them do their job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there any other boundary issue that you feel that's outside of that? Is it really just like the sandwich that's happening? Or is there something else that you feel like you need more assistance with?
I think it's another internal thing. Like, I feel like I should not be given more tasks when I tell you that I'm ready to transition to something else. I shouldn't be told that I don't think you're ready, or I don't think let's do this for a little bit. You just got into this role when I've showed like that I've gotten certifications, I've did the work that I was supposed to do. So now the term, well, of course, quietly quitting.
Yeah, we don't do that over here. I don't like that term. But
yeah.
But yes.
I think I'm at that point now. Like, I don't fought with the people that I was over before. I helped y'all. I trained the backfill. I'm dealing with my peers, still seeing me as role A, and now they're, giving more to me. So it's just like, now I'm in my head, I'm like, I just need a fresh start because I need to reset myself in order to truly reset my boundaries, because y'all are breaking me.
A cue Beyonce, break my soul.
Yes. When that song came out, I felt it in my soul.
Release the job.
Yes.
Like you were ready for it. So can I give you some tough love?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the issue that you're having, you're going to have in the next place too.
Yeah.
It's going to follow you because quiet quitting, the reason why I hate it so much, because it's advocating for yourself. From what I hear you saying, you don't see yourself as being on your leadership team. If you don't see yourself being on your leadership team, how are they supposed to see you on the leadership team?
Yeah.
And you have to position yourself and align yourself, believe that you're a leader in here, act like you're a leader, and showcase that in order to continue to climb. The past year, it sounds like you've been doing all the things. So I'm very happy that they at the minimum rewarded you with some money, with with a new title. Like they moved you appropriately. So in essence, they did like part one, but part two is now what do you do with that? And you need to step into doing the job as part of the leadership team. And once you set those boundaries and you're operating in that way, people are going to continue to come to you and continue to treat you in the way that you allow them to treat you. You're allowing your peers, I'm not calling them leadership team no more unless I'm talking about you being on it. You're allowing your peers to treat you like you're not on the team. And when your managers, because we didn't even talk about the relationship with your manager, but when your manager sees that you're doing all these other things, that's not how a leader would need to operate in order to move forward. Because if I play devil's advocate, which I hate even saying, but if I play devil's advocate as your boss, you don't have room for another upward mobility because you're still you won't let go of all these things. One of the hardest parts of moving up is delegating. And if you're unable to delegate, how can I give you more work? I can't let you do higher level things because you just keep on taking, like you just adding everything to the box. You're like, all right, I can just keep on. We have to kind of cut it and make sure that you are aligning and positioning yourself in the way that you know you need to be positioned. And I think that takes day to day. For you, it sounds like it's so much mindset of setting these boundaries because quiet quitting isn't going to help you. Quiet quitting, I'm going to say this, and I don't apologize, actually. I don't. Quiet quitting is for people who really don't care about their careers. Because if you want to quiet quit, go ahead. Quiet quitting is for people who don't really want a job. You quiet quit on me. I told my team before, like, I wish you would try and quiet quit. Quiet quit sounds like you need to be loudly fired. Because like, if you're not trying to do your job.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So what if the person you were when you started that role, you've grown, you're no longer that person anymore?
Then it's how are you re-educating people on who you are? Every time you make a move in your career, it's low-key like, allow me to reintroduce myself. It is, who am I? What am I working on? What is my mission? What is my vision? And every interaction you have is an opportunity for you to realign yourself to where you want to go. One of my mentors always told me, like, if you want to excel, you can't be having water cooler conversations. When you want to get up high, you can't be at the water cooler with all your direct reports chilling. You can't be doing the same work, having the same conversations at the water cooler. When you want to be seen as a leader with me, I'm not at the water cooler. She's like, I'm over here. I'm talking to the leaders. I'm building mentors and sponsors. I'm not at the water cooler gossiping. And I think when we think about it from like a literal perspective of like just hanging out in that area, but also think about your tasks. Think about it, like, how are people experiencing you? So how can part of the onus is on you to align that way, which is mindset and in your day-to-day boundaries.
I like that. Okay.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that.
I was like, I'm gonna get a little hard. I'm like, y'all, I just met her today. About I don't know how many minutes ago. So I was like, I can't, like, some of my friends, one of my girlfriends, she's heard me give career coaching before, and her man heard me talking. He's like, you let Kim talk to you like that?
But you need that. You need that friend, right?
Yes. I'm like, I think I'm just very passionate about it, and I'm excited because you are not in a position, at least in my opinion, from what I've known about you in this maybe 30 minutes, what I know to be true so far, you are in a fantastic position because you've been rewarded for the great work that you are doing. Now that you've been rewarded, what are you going to do with it so you can continue to move? I feel like you can do it.
Well, thank you. It's kind of like your book says, like, every conversation that you have with somebody that affects your career, that's a career conversation. Like,
I did say that. Like, sometimes I forget. Yes, exactly. And I think it's you aligning and having more of those conversations to align you so you can continue to move forward. And once you do that, I really think that the boundaries, like, it's really just speaking up.
Yeah. And not feeling bad about it.
You are doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And there's people, it's not like there's not people to do the work. You're giving people the work they're supposed to be doing. So you can continue to work on the higher level things.
That's right. Okay.
Any other questions for today?
No, that was
No?
all the questions I had.
Okay. So I really hope that y'all enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed it. This was fun. This is my first one, y'all. I enjoyed it. So if you are interested in appearing on a future episode of the Your Next Move podcast, I invite you to email podcast@manifestyourself.com and let us know that you would like to be a live career coaching guest on season 5. We would love to have you. And with that, may your next move be your very best move. Talk soon, y'all.